Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup. I'm here with the guys as per usual, man. We got I'm the Chris variant here, man. We got Reg, Deuce, and Kev, RL in the building. Say what's up to the people, guys.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
Cool. And if this is your first time rocking with us, man, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything in between through the lens of black culture, man. We here every Tuesday, so check us out every Tuesday for the drop. And miscellaneous things throughout the week, clips and outtakes and things like that of that nature. But yeah, the main pod, Tuesday, check us out. Tell a friend if you like us, subscribe, follow, notifications. If you're on the audio side, check us out on the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff. If you're interested, give us five stars, hit the thumbs button, all that stuff. Social media, Discord, we live and active. Please come and join us, man. Join the community. Engage with us. Tell us what topics you want us to talk about. It makes it easier for us and gets what you want. So, anything else I missed?
Is that Discord link in the description?
Discord link is in the description. It's on the homepage. It's on anytime you see us with the drop, you got the Discord link in the description. Along with everything else. Yeah. Everything's tied to everything else. So
Facebook group, all that. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, so Cool. All right, well, let's just jump right into it, man. It was a busy week of football on Sunday, and there's a lot of games, but the one that we talked about is the game of the week, Rams and Bucs. Everybody came out to watch these two powerhouses of their respective conferences play, and Tom Brady versus Matthew Stafford, the new guy, man. He upgraded into the LA Rams repertoire, and man, he was slinging the ball. 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, versus Tom Brady, paltry 400 yards and only 1 touchdown or whatever. So, but the Rams came out to play, though. That's the thing, man. The Rams came out to play on both sides of the ball. It made it very difficult, but it was still a good game, 24-34. Rams took that win for week 3. And Bucs look a little mortal. So we're gonna just talk about it here, man. So first thing first, man. We're gonna talk about these quarterbacks, man. Matthew Stafford. Someone said that he's a top 5 quarterback. I ain't gonna name no names, but dudes, tell me, did Matthew Stafford outplay Tom Brady?
Hey, did you guys see that no-look pass that Stafford did to Whitworth? The boys doing no-look passes out there, man. Stafford looks like he's having fun again. Looks like he's back in Georgia. The life is back in him. I know we had this conversation before, man, where you guys just doo-dooed on my boy. I said, man, he's a top 5 quarterback. Y'all were like, blah, 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 blah. Y'all were naming quarterbacks not even in the league anymore, man. I think that's pretty disrespectful to my boy. It's all good, though. The main thing, I think Stafford's rejuvenated, right? He had a bigger arm. Than the last quarterback.
Jared Goff, man. Come on, man. Mr. Play himself.
When you go to Detroit, man, it's a blue and silver hole and he just disappeared.
Hey.
So, and that's why they made the trade, man. I think it was a good trade. He has a bigger arm. He can throw the ball downfield. He's rejuvenated. And it's like he's having fun again, which happens to anybody that leaves Detroit, unfortunately. So yeah, I think he's back. I think the Rams are something serious, man. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs and call it now. Playoffs.
Okay.
Like wild card?
Bruh.
NFC
they're not
West
doing it. They're not the no NFL play-in version. Nah, they in the playoffs.
Okay.
Wow.
Ain't no bubble season.
Is that a big reach?
Question it. That's what he said.
Is that a big reach, Chris?
I just got a question. Can we get the guarantee real quick?
Go ahead, guarantee it.
Go ahead and guarantee it.
I'm gonna hit this iPhone case.
Guarantee.
There we go. We locked it in.
Okay, all right, Reg, man. What's your thoughts? You think Matthew Stafford's the real deal, or is it just
I gotta apologize, bro. I hit Deuce with it. I said, "Yo, top 5, you're out of your mind." Like this, I thought he was trying to put like Young Thug in the top 5 of hip hop or something like that when he was talking about Matt Stafford in top 5. So I was like, man. And then between you, you was talking about, oh well, he's gonna be good this season. he's getting traded for Jared Goff, and I felt like that was a lateral trade, which I may not be too far off because they almost beat the Ravens with the Lions. It just came down to, the longest field goal ever. But that point aside, Matthew Stafford seemed to have life over here on the Rams. So I don't know if he's going to be guaranteed in the playoffs, but if they can keep playing like this, I'll be excited to see what they got there, what they can do this season.
All right, Kev.
Are you not excited? Your face don't look too excited. I'm excited
because
yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. I mean, it's football season. Look, we got something to talk about. We got new storylines. I'm happy to see Matthew Stafford, in a healthy relationship now. Like, I understand Detroit was toxic, so now he's able to thrive and be more of himself. But top 5 though, man.
Yeah, I know about the top 5 because we did list some good names. I'm no pro at this. Y'all already know. I put my amateur hat on. Let everybody know out there. Amateur viewer here. So for me, it's just like, fun to see somebody take down Tom Brady. So fun to see a team that's not expected getting this good start with these wins. I just like these underdogs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like them. So for me, it's a fun story. So I'm with you, Deuce. I ain't got no guarantee, but I'd love to see a guarantee execute. You know what I mean? I'd love to see it come through. But explain me something from my understanding. The yards, like you mentioned, Tom Brady threw a good bit of yards, more yards than Rams. Yeah, just 400. But it wasn't when it mattered. Is that what shot them in the foot? Like how do you have such an impressive throwing game? Spread the ball very nicely. There were many receivers that were getting the ball from Tom Brady. I think there were only like about 4 targets or so that was really counted for the Rams, and they still end up short. So like, what happened? Was it all quarterback, or was there other some factor to the game that
you gotta make it in the red zone? You could throw the ball all day, but when you get to that red zone, if you're not connecting with a receiver, and who was it, Cook or something, that it just seemed like who's the Cook, the receiver that just connect Cup. That's what I meant to say. Him and Stafford was just like it seemed like magic. Like that was crazy. That connection, they would just bomb cup. Like it felt like every play was just him finding Cup for big yards or a big play. Yeah. So I mean, you could throw the ball, but if you're not getting touchdowns, what you throwing it for?
Yeah. And also sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. If you penalties will stagnate your offense. You can have great yardage all the way down, and then you get a couple of false starts or something like that. Now, 3rd and long, it makes it it decreases your probability to actually convert. So but like I said, like Tom Brady was being pressured. Like Aaron Donald was.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was being pressured.
That defense was stifling. I saw that.
Even
he needs time.
Yeah. So
did y'all see Tom Brady kind of like do a little stick and move and run for a couple yards a couple times?
Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing?
Tom Brady had that in him.
Like he was bobbing and weaving from that Belichick report.
I mean, he did have 14 yards rushing, so I mean, he did better than some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? So, but look, man, can we just stop with the theatrics? Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. He ain't a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, we definitely named people still in the league today. Yeah. Not no retired Drew Breeses and nothing like that. No Brett Favre.
He's between 10 and 15. It's okay. He's on a good team though, and I think, but I do think it's a mutual benefit for all parties involved, except for Jared Goff. But maybe a little bit for Jared Goff, because now he could reset in Detroit. Because I mean, he was putrid last year, and without Todd Gurley to do the play action pass, he was, he looked like a lesser version of himself. Now that he's in Detroit, he gets to just reset. Detroit has no expectations anyways, so I mean, you can't throw them into an 0-16 season because they already were planned and destined to be 0-16. So, but everyone has a fresh start. I think it's beneficial for all parties involved, and Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. I know you said you thought it was a lateral move, but me personally, I think it's it's more beneficial for Matthew Stafford's career, considering he's been in Detroit this whole time and they just misappropriated his skills for 8, 9, 10, 12 years. So now that they got a quarterback, they still got a stifling defense. They still got Sean McVay to write up some good plays. And they're playing in the NFC West. They're playing in California. Weather is nice, if you haven't noticed. And so I would definitely do that. Then playing in Detroit, I would not want to play in Detroit. So it gives him a chance. He has a strong arm. He's a kind of a gunslinger. He's gonna take those chances, and he has Cooper Kupp to just sling the ball to. He still.
I just want to comment. I want to comment on the fact that you compared Detroit to one of those women that Kevin Samuels always talks about when he said a toxic relationship.
Wow.
Toxic.
But
he's toxic.
I do want to put some extra sauce on this Stafford versus golf thing. Key thing, throwing the ball downfield, right? So Matt Stafford, when he throws the ball, it's in the air for about an average of 8.7 yards per attempt.
Okay.
Golf, his last year with the Rams, 4.9.
Your point.
Please enlighten me.
It goes back to that arm, man. It goes back to Stafford's able to stretch the defense. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Matt Stafford just might be the Steph Curry in the NFL, bro. Because he can stretch the defense out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Steph
Him, Curry, that love it is in the air and it stays.
He must be sleep deprived. This dude just out here just started saying stuff.
I'm just saying, man.
Man, lay it down, man.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Like, what else? Who else you want to go for?
I don't know what those seconds mean. I don't know.
The ball in the air and it stays.
What do those seconds mean? Like, what do those seconds even mean?
That's how long the ball is in the air.
I know what it means. I know what it means, but I'm saying there's so many factors to whether or not you're doing short plays, long plays, your receivers, your plays you run. Like, I mean, I don't know. Can you hold everything on that stat to say that he's the Steph Curry?
Don't water down my hot take with like facts and statistics. Don't
I'm just trying to figure out, like, if you comparing him to Jared Goff, you can make but there's other people in the league. Like, I'm pretty sure there's other people in the league that have more yards than him on average. So, like, what are we doing here?
More seconds in the air.
Yeah, the
More
ball.
seconds in the air.
He's throwing it downfield.
He ain't checking yardage. He's checking seconds in
throwing
the
it
air.
downfield, man.
The dude compared.
I'm sure there's many more quarterbacks with more seconds in the air.
He didn't compare himself to Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Steve Young, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Kirk Cousins.
He went transcend
like Blaine Gabbert. Like, you didn't even compare.
Wait, did you say Blaine Gabbert?
I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're even talking about.
You compared Matthew Stafford to Jared Goff and said, therefore, by conclusion.
Hey, those are the guys up in the hot seat right now, man. So
Steph
he's
Curry.
just staying in context. He's staying in context.
He was working on that whiteboard to put this together. That's what was going on. We're gonna bring it back on the rails because that's crazy.
Yeah. You are muted for 15 seconds for that blasphemy. So, yeah, man.
Chris, you're a true 49er fan, man, because not a lot of people know that Blaine Gabbert was a QB for the 49ers for like a hot second.
Oh, yeah. It was dark time. This is after the Harbaugh days, but before the Kyle Shanahan days. Yeah. And he was the worst. I think he had like the worst QBR from the time that he was a starting quarterback in his NFL career. He always had the lowest QBR. I don't know how he got another starting job. He's like the Chip Kelly of quarterbacks. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so I don't know, man. So you calling it? You think they're going to go somewhere, right? You think they're going to the
Hey, I said what I said, man. I got nothing else to add on that one. I said what I said.
Anybody else wants to counter that point and say that, like, you know, they're not gonna make it to it? I mean, you have to
let them rock, bro. Let them have
I'm not gonna counter it. They're chugging right now. They're pushing right now. I'm not gonna bet on the hot table right now.
Now when the playoffs come and they don't make it, we gonna have to rewind the tapes. But for now, I'm gonna let them rock.
Hey, I'm gonna hold it.
Can y'all help him? It's the NFC West. This is probably the toughest division.
Hey, he said what he said.
Okay. All right, man. Y'all want him to die out here on the Oasis and be out here like, well, you know what?
You heard him compare to Steph Curry. You can't talk to the man, obviously.
No. I said what I said, man.
That's fine. Well, we're gonna put a pin in that, cause like you poison the water. You poison the water in that one. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's just move on, cause see, you know. Yeah, you just ruined football for me for the rest of the day. Move on to the NBA side, man. NBA Media Day has come, and you know it's always fun. You get everyone coming in, and they always got these, you know, poses. I think I saw Mike Lowry and the Adebayo and Jimmy Butler doing the Charlie's Angels thing, which is, you know, okay, that's fine. That's cute, I guess.
I haven't said this yet.
So, you know, I think, who was it? David Letterman. He was trolling Kevin Durant. He was like, well, you know, in the media questioning, he was like, oh, why do they call you your nickname KD? Like, just random stuff like that. But, you know, it's always fun. Everyone gets to show up and have a good time. Unless you're on COVID protocol. This has been the thing, right? Like, COVID-19's health and safety protocols for the NBA has been very murky. It's kind of been surrounding and kind of putting a cloud over a lot of the NBA this upcoming season, considering, you know, some people have their different opinions about, you know, whether they should take the vaccine and whether they should not. Now, to keep it in perspective, 90% of the NBA players, according to the NBA, are vaccinated. So that leaves about 10% roughly. I'm sure there's some standard deviation there somewhere, but, you know, obviously you're gonna have some names that show up because, you know, people have their own rights and beliefs and things like that. And one of the main ones, he's always getting attention for the wrong things right now. Probably not to his wrongdoing or anything, but just more so just that's the decisions he made. Kyrie Irving, ever since he moved to Brooklyn, actually ever since he left Cleveland, there's always been something following him. So he's in this one. Apparently he has not been able to attend Media Day because he's chosen, to either not disclose his vaccination status or to just opt out of being vaccinated. And he's not the only one. There's Andrew Wiggins, who is trying to get the exemption, and I think he got denied for the religious exemption. And Dwight Howard, I believe, is another player who is, you know, a little on the anti-vax side, which is, again, not saying one's wrong or one's right, but definitely is something that people do not want to talk about, and this is becoming a very polarizing thing if it hasn't been already in the United States of America. So, with that said, we're going to just shoot it to Reg, man. What do you think the NBA is taking the right approach to handling COVID-19 health and safety protocols for the upcoming season?
I mean, for me, you always have to look at results. You can't argue with results. I think they did a really good job with the bubble, and they listened to the players and coaches and everybody, and heard, you know, being away from your family is just unacceptable. So the next season, they got more information, more access to tests. Don't remember when the vaccine came out, if people were able to get vaccinated or not. That didn't seem to be that big of an issue last season, so I'm thinking it wasn't widely available. So there wasn't too many, we heard here and there, but for the most part, there wasn't any big outbreaks or anything like that. It wasn't like when this thing whole started and people popping up positive left and right and they had to postpone the whole season. Like, I think they're doing an outstanding job, and I think the NFL is doing a pretty good job so far as well. So you can't argue with results. So I think the NBA's approach to this has been working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so far.
I second that.
Okay.
We've been talking pre-show. Some of the things they want to do this season seem a little concerning to me, in terms of people being positive but can hang around people as long as they're vaccinated and not being super strict on the testing. I think if they can afford it and it's not a major impact to the business, why not just err on the side of caution? And if you had an outbreak with somebody, get tested and all the other things you would do whether somebody was vaccinated or not. That part, it was a little confusing to me. But outside of that, I think they've been doing a really good job.
Okay, awesome. Kev, you got something that you want to follow up with that?
The guys sum it all up very nicely, man. Like, I agree with almost all of the things he said. I like how the NBA handled it. The fact that they went to a bubble scenario, which was great for us, the fans, awful for the players. They voiced that it wasn't something they could continue doing. And the season went off pretty smoothly, in my opinion. I think there was a few games that got postponed and canceled, but it wasn't something that was happening frequently. And for the most part, we were focused on basketball. We weren't really talking about issues around COVID. We were just focused on basketball. And I think they did a good job. So from the NBA standpoint, I would say continue what you did, but we've just, like Reg just mentioned, they're changing their rules. So I don't know how that will impact the upcoming season. We will see. I am confused a little bit about some of their new rules based on vaccine and unvaccinated. I think if we're here to fight this thing, let's fight it. And let's just fight it. Let's not worry about vaccine or unvaccinated. Let's fight it to the best of our abilities. And as long as it doesn't impact or negatively impact someone to get a test, give them a test. Especially if they're around someone who was testing positive. There's no reason to allow that person to just now come and mingle with a bunch of other people, because you don't want to break out.
Yeah.
So it's like let's and plus things that we're always learning about this. Mm-hmm. So let's not act as though we know everything. There still can be new things that can cause new variants to change our perspective on what to be done. So let's hold the fort. Let's keep beating at it. Let's not ease up, because we're easing up. We're taking our foot off the gas as though this thing is just going to go away. Like, let's not ease up. Let's continue with staying safe, staying protected. And if you're taking the vaccine to protect yourself, great. If you're not, protect yourself in other ways.
There you go. Deuce, you got anything new you want to add, or you going to just say the same thing Kev said? Because I'm sure
I do want to clean something up. So, as far as the NBA's mandate, it's just a draft, right? It's still in the works. And the only thing for vaccinated players are not currently anticipated to face quarantine if they are in close contact with but don't test positive. So it seems like there's delineation there. So if you're in close contact, dancing around them, but you don't test positive, you're good to go. But if you test positive, it implies that they'll be quarantined. It doesn't state it, but it implies they'll be quarantined if they test positive.
Okay.
So
we just got the rough draft. They didn't fully write out all the rules. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. It's just a rough draft.
Okay. This smart guys, man. They gave us a good season.
Yeah.
At the peak of this thing, so it's like I don't expect them to not give us a good season again.
Yeah. I agree.
They definitely did, and I want to say that NBA has probably been the forefront of handling these kind of scenarios, which is very unique considering the circumstances of being close in proximity, athletes going back home to their families, flights and logistics and things like that, media news crews, and having the bubble as an idea, which only the NBA, I would think, have that kind of like thinking outside of the box. NFL still is like still wants to
would that even work with the NFL? They got like 55 people per team. Like that's a lot more people.
That is true. I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna say I moved to Hawaii, but I don't know.
He's talking about results.
They're gonna take them Hawaii and just to kick all the residents out. This is gonna be the NFL's island.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We got some territories, right? You know, we have like Dominican Republic or Haiti or something.
Man,
know what
you
I'm
don't have
Listen,
I don't think we have.
You like, hey man, geography back 101, bro.
Alaska, we just move off to Alaska. Like, I don't know, man.
Colonizers.
My boy went from the territory to the state.
I don't know. I didn't think that far. That's why I said let me not say that. I don't know. Yeah, obviously it's a unique situation, but I'm sure they could have kind of reduced it to like a select number of cities if they really wanted to. That so like let's say California only went to like one stadium and they bubbled there or whatever. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, and it's like I said, NBA was in a very unique situation with it being in the middle of the season, and they only invited 16 teams. Or sorry, what was it like? Not even 16 teams. It was what was it like 20 teams?
Yeah, I think that sounds right because you had
they had to get Zion.
Yeah, because they had to get in Zion.
Wow.
Yeah, had to get in
The line there was a pre-Zion line, and then somebody said, "Hold up." We drew it too soon. We forgot about Zion.
So then you got to invite the Wizards too. What you trying to say? So they invite the Wizards on the
No, they were like, "Oh no, the line's right here." Sorry, Bill.
So, but so yeah, they did a really good job. I think the partnership between the players and the association, you know, allows for some level of compromise, which is why you're seeing a lot of this, you know, this kind of murkiness. Like it's not perfect. They're trying to figure out the details, and so yeah, like I do want to kind of give them, you know, their credit that they're doing. I think that what they're doing is they're taking in information, they're listening to the people who it's going to impact, and they're trying to make the best decision based on all the information on the table. So I do give them that. My follow-up question is, do you think that obviously because, you know, we talked about it on the pregame about like them being the NBA having this unique relationship with social media, and you know, someone's gonna ask some of these old heads, and in this case Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's not the only person, but he has mentioned something saying like, hey, I don't understand the thought process of like not doing something for your teammates and
your community, your everything.
Yeah, and knowing that your actions can either inhibit or, you know, cripple a team, whether you're on the floor or not on the floor, or if you're on the floor, you can impact other people's being infected and not being able to be available for said team. Now, he has a point, I think, but
yes.
I want to be fair. Do you think that he has a point? The Kareem Abdul-Jabbars of the world who are thinking like, yo, just get vaccinated, like you're putting your team at risk, you know, and if you say you're a team player, you need to be a team player in this way. And do you think it's also that they have a point to not do that and kind of exercise their right and freedom on their own personal choices, in spite of that? And both can be true, like both can exist in some spectrum, but do you guys think that there are going to be points taken from each side? I'll start with Deuce.
Should be.
You start with who? Deuce, you said?
Yeah, I'm starting with Deuce,
Go
man.
ahead.
I think, points from each side. I think choices have reactions. So, kind of like what Kev was saying before, if you don't want to get vaccinated, there are precautions you got to take to protect yourselves. However, NBA is an enterprise, is a business. If they, in their research and their stance is, we think for the masses, getting this jab in the arm is best for us, and there's a group that doesn't want to do that, they're right. However, there are consequences with that choice. I don't think you can have it both ways. I don't think you can say, I see you, job employer, coming out with this rule. I don't want to agree with it, but I still want to do things my way and not have the reaction or the consequence with it. It can't be like that. So that's my stance on that. And something else I want to add. I know a lot of people, Wiggins, not the name, let me scratch that out. But there are some
code
players.
word. Silent killer.
We're trying to get some views right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wiggins is saying religious reasons, right? And that's his choice. It's prerogative. So I was looking up some stuff, right? Kev got me going down this deep rabbit hole. Something from the Columbus Dispatch. They talked about religions and what religion and the doctrine speaks out against vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the COVID vaccine, because COVID is new, religion is old, so it's not going to say thou shalt not take the Johnson jab and bounce on. That's what we say.
It could be in your religion. It could be in your religion.
Stop it.
It could be.
There's more than one religion, man. I know which one you're biting right now.
Well, you know what? They didn't cover. They didn't cover Scientology, and I want to. I think that might be one. But under the Christian denomination, there was one religion, one dialect, or one segment that's against it, and it's the Dutch Reformed Church and Church of Christ.
Okay.
Dutch Reformed Church and Church of Christ.
Yeah.
That's the church that Wiggins go to?
I was gonna ask.
Don't know.
Gotta throw it out there, right?
But
I'm on Sunday service.
not getting on Zoom. They're the only ones that say it intervenes with like the divine providence. All other Christian denominations cool with it. Islam's like, hey, get it. One of the highest objectives of Islamic law is to preserve and protect human life. They're like, yo, get that jab, son. So Judaism, they're like, get that jab, son. So in this article, there's one denomination of the Christian umbrella that is against it. So maybe all these players are part of that Dutch Church of Church.
Hey, you don't got to be part of the Church of Church to follow that religion.
That's another thing.
You don't have to get put into that building to follow what they believe, because they have read the text and have come to their conclusion. And each denomination has read the text and come to their conclusion, which is why you end up with denominations. Because people then differ and said, oh, I don't like the way you interpret that. And we're like, well, this is how I think it should be interpreted. And then you split. Then you get like the Catholic who think you should be baptized
when you're a baby.
Birth, and then they have the Baptists who think it should be a choice. So it's like, they don't have to be a part of. My question is, with this religious exemption, who do y'all expect to exempt? You know what I mean? That's what I'm asking. Like, does it have to be someone that has like, I am from the Church of Church, and they got to go and give me a document to say, hi, I'm a member of this church? And furthermore, why do I have to be a member of a group to be exempt from something that I believe?
Yeah.
I believe. Not the church believe, but I believe. I am a religion. I am a religion. That's how I feel. I don't need an institution. I don't need bylaws. I don't need organization. I don't need a pulpit. I don't need a congregation. I am a walking religion. Therefore, I dictate what I believe and what I choose to follow from what I don't follow. And the fact that you want to connect me to a group, and only when I've connected to a group, then you're going to allow me to say that exempt? Bonfire to that, because I don't want to be grouped anyway.
I feel you. So you saying that they have both sides have a point or not?
No. I go straight to the religion.
Yeah, that was
I was just want to make sure.
Got his
Points,
point.
man. I can't put this on your head, Kev, but I'm gonna rock it for you, man.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
make points.
I think Kareem got his point, man. But at the end of the day, Kareem is looking from a particular viewpoint.
And then even with that particular viewpoint, he's a practicing Muslim. He practiced Ramadan during the game, so like it's hard.
Wiggins or
It's hard for people to come in. It's like, oh, but my religion, to a man that really, like, when other people weren't really doing it, put his religion at the forefront, before the game. So that it is something to take into account. I agree with Kev a lot. I always thought that was a little bit of funny math when they was like, oh yeah, you can get a religious exemption. Like, I feel like they only really recognize certain religions in this country. You have the mainstays, but like if you want to be like a whatever, there's so many other religions that people who ingest made up the flying spaghetti monster. That could be a religion if people want it to be. Like, who gets to
Every
say
now and
what's
then.
religion and what's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
It gets funny.
This is the control factor I don't understand. Why everything gotta be so
Yeah.
controlled by something
Yeah.
other than myself?
Yeah.
Why don't I have any autonomy? Like
Yeah.
why I have to be so controlled outside
Yeah.
of myself? That's all I'm worried about. I'm worried about the precedent
Yeah.
where it sets that if the situation is dire enough, I can make you do whatever I need you to do. And I don't
Yeah.
like that precedent. It's like
Yeah.
I understand the precedent because the situation is dire, but at the same
Yeah.
time, yo, it's hard to ask someone to just change who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change it, please. Just change it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point because I think we passed that point right there, man. They jabbing it down us, right? I think going back to the basketball sense, I think they should do away with the religious thing and come up with a process where it's a yes or a no. Either you get vaccinated, here's the process of playing the games.
Mhm.
If you don't get vaccinated, here's a process to participate in playing the games. Because if you do it off of Kev's point, which I agree with, however, there are going to be people who don't have good intent saying that same thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
So in order to weed that out, just come up with two processes. But once again, the NBA did mandate everybody. The players union pushed back. The players union isn't really having an issue with the NBA. It's the municipalities. The San Francisco,
Yeah.
New York, saying this, that, and the third.
No large gatherings unless.
Yeah. So that's where the issue's coming in at. And the NBA doesn't have jurisdiction over a municipality. At least not yet. I don't think so. I gotta check.
I'm still gonna get in the city or two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's where the
just-
issue's coming in at.
I feel like a lot of stuff surrounding this vaccine is really unfortunate. Like even I've heard stories of military people leaving the military because they don't want to be forced a vaccine. And I'm just like, I ain't even in the military, and I know they jab y'all with any and everything. And there was
Leaving the military? They're leaving as in they're allowed to leave?
no,
Yeah,
they're
you can-
dishonorable discharges. I
Yeah.
think for people
So
who.
it's, you can leave. You can submit a request, and the military is like, yeah or nay. But it's gonna be mandatory sometime in November. And if you don't get it, man, you get written up. It's a bad report in your permanent record, and then holla.
What
You out.
record? What
Yeah.
record?
Your
Yeah.
military record.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
permanent record. You sound like those when they're in high school, you know, like this is gonna go on your permanent record.
Oh man.
This is how my career line. This is how my
You in
career
college,
line.
like, what's that record at? I was in high school.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I
But
never.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's some of that brainwashing they do, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think it's funny because I think now that I think about it after listening to you guys talk about that, shoot, maybe the NFL got it more right than the NBA. You can if
Speak on it.
the
Yeah.
so the NFL is basically saying we want you to be vaccinated. We will get the vaccination for you. We'll drop it off at your house and we'll poke you and then we'll give you the card. Like they'll go out of their way. They'll make sure you have. Now they can't force you to do it. And there's people who are playing right now. DeAndre Hopkins is probably one of them. Who is not playing? I mean, who is playing?
Unvaccinated.
And he's unvaccinated. Totally his choice, right? Guess what the NFL said? Hey, if there's an outbreak and y'all ain't got no players, y'all forfeit. That's one game, right?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Right? Like obviously
that's
17 weeks, 17 games is a lot more valuable than 82 or 77 or however many games they're gonna use. But let's say they did that and then say, okay, well, you know, you guys had an outbreak. Y'all all got to quarantine for 10 days and show no signs of, positive tests. The whole team for 10 days. How many games is that? That's probably like what? Between 2 to 4 games. That could be as much as, and especially in the West, that could be from number 4 to number 7 slot.
Yeah.
So it's consequences. I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Said I like it. Don't like it, man. Don't like when people manipulate you to do something you already chosen not to do. We should not like that. Like I can't even imagine my daughter or my little child, me doing this to her. Like, she's saying, Daddy, I don't want to do this. But me, I'm going to find every other way. I'm going to put fear in you. Fair.
It's
Fair.
not
It's
fair.
not fair. Be like,
It's-
if you don't do it, there's a consequence.
But
No
the
psychologist,
parents do that.
ever tell you to do that. But yeah, but they would never suggest it.
No, you shouldn't. I'm just thinking about it. Like, when you tell your kid, "Hey man, stop jumping on the bed," and when they fall, you say, "See, that's what you get." Like that.
That's what you get.
Nah, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Agree.
You would not do that on a familial level. Why would you do it on a country level? I would never do it in my home.
Question though, how is the NFL getting around these mandates in New York? And is it because the stadiums are outdoor or what?
I have no idea. But yeah, like they're playing.
Yeah, outdoor
playing.
matters because it's the mandate is for indoors. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
but just
yeah, no,
that's
you're
it.
fine. No worries.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
specifically for indoors, at least for.
So are they opening the domes? Because I know some of them are closed. Are some of them closed?
It depends. So New York is open, like Met Stadium. I'm sorry, Gillette Stadium is open. Well, that's the Patriots. What's the MetLife Stadium?
Levi's is open.
Levi's
and
open.
What's the new one in LA that they share? I forget.
That one is open as well.
Or at least controllable whether it's open or closed. I think it's like a dome that could retract.
That's
or
a
something.
retractable roof.
Well,
yeah.
okay, but I think it's the location of the stadiums. So like New York City locked down, but the Giants don't play in New York
They
City.
play in New Jersey, right?
No, Jets play in Jersey. I thought.
They all play in the Jets.
I don't think there's any football stadium in New York City.
Yeah,
Well, not in New
They're
York
not-
City
they're
for
not-
sure. Buffalo plays in upstate.
Yeah, but it's open.
Yeah,
Got you.
just like San Francisco. I mean, they're in Santa Clara.
Mhm.
And thankfully, they're not at the Coliseum. What was it called?
The Candlestick.
Coliseum?
Candlestick.
Candlestick in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But even
So-
still, like it was open in Candlestick, so that's what I'm wondering. Is that how the NFL is kind of?
Yeah.
Well, I
It's a
think it's more
different-
for the stadium locations as opposed to like the open or close.
Ah, this is a San Francisco band. It's not
Yeah.
a. Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah.
All right.
But to add to what I guess Kevin was mentioning with the about being forced through manipulation, I don't know. Like I do get your point. I think this is the reason why I say that's a good idea, right? If you want to choose to not get vaccinated, you could totally do that. And actually, we're 3 weeks in, we haven't had any outbreaks, right? And we know people who are not vaccinated. Like you said, you do your best to protect yourself.
Correct.
Based on
Absolutely.
your own recognizance, right? So if you think you're doing your best, and obviously we know anyone can bring the vaccine in, anyone can spread it to someone else. An outbreak can occur from
You mean the virus?
whether
bring the virus.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, virus. The virus can come from either person vaccinated or unvaccinated, and it can cause an outbreak, within that structure, that the team and staff, right? So we understand that, and the reason that I think, now as far as why they do it, because you could probably say a loophole. Well, outbreak is an outbreak. If 12 people test positive for it, then it shouldn't be at the fault of one person or unvaccinated or vaccinated. But regardless, everyone should still be practicing certain kind of like controls to try to mitigate contracting the virus. So
Certainly.
that's not being discriminatory towards one group or another group, but I do think that says a lot for people who are on the team who want to play, who are opting to play, and saying, okay, well, in playing, you have a kind of a implicit responsibility to make sure that your team gets out on the field, and and from that perspective, I'm okay with but
I'm okay with it. No, I didn't say I wasn't okay. It's just what Kurt said. I like it. I was like, nah, we don't. There's nothing to be liked. There is just an action that needs to be taken to keep us safe.
Gotcha.
There is no like or dislike, and that's the problem right now. We choosing this like or dislike for not for. We have a virus. We want to live. We want to live. We want to survive. So stay safe. There is no
Gotcha.
like or dislike. There is no this side or that side. We're all in it together. The problem is, one side is saying, if we're in it together, I have the solution. There's only one solution. There's no other way. And if you're not in this camp, then you're really not actually trying to fight it.
Gotcha.
You're really not trying to stay safe. You're really not being socially responsible. And then you get all this other labels that come upon you from one decision that people still don't understand why you're making. Since when do we judge something without understanding the reason behind it?
Oh, we do it all the time. But yeah, I understand. But yeah,
You know what I'm
but we
saying?
shouldn't be doing
And
it.
it's not good.
I got a question though,
It's
like
not good practice.
a weird side effect from all of this. If we see, you know, I think you said like almost 90% of the players, or some reporters saying like 90% of the players are vaccinated. If we see like the whole season and we don't see like a outbreak, which we didn't see last time, but like now we see it with the vaccine and all that, is that gonna be encouraging to some people? Be like maybe I should take this thing.
I think it could. I want to go back and hit one point.
Go ahead.
The thing I like is the system in place. Like what Chris is saying with NFL, there's a way to play whether you're vaccinated or not, and there's a system in place, right? If you're unvaxxed and outbreak happens, the whole team shut down. You take that L.
Yeah.
It's that it goes back to my previous point where you're playing you're working for something. It's a team sport, and everybody's what is it? Not want to say dependent on each other, but you're
Responsible
relying
for
on
each
other.
other.
Yeah. In a way, dependent on each other too.
Yeah, you're linked up.
Yeah. So it just goes into that mutual understanding. So that's the part I like about it.
Love
Not
that.
forcing one way or the other. There's a path.
But that's not a
And
force, you know that too, right? That's a consequence. So the consequence isn't the force itself.
Yeah.
The consequence is just the action that needs to be taken to keep everybody else safe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's logical. It's like I don't fault the NBA the NFL for making that decision.
Yeah.
But the people who look at it as a punishment to the unvaccinated is where I got twisted. I don't think it's a punishment to the unvaccinated. I think it's it's a safety measure.
Yeah, that's always a safety measure.
Yeah.
So don't do this pinning. When we say it like that, we put them against each other. When we do it the other way of saying it's because you're unvaccinated. Nah, it's because we broke out the whole team, son.
Yeah.
So it's like too many people got this. We can't go out there and risk the other side.
Yeah.
Fans. It's like if one of y'all got this, you sit out. If there's no breakout, you play.
Yeah.
This rule is specifically for a breakout, which in any scenario would be wise for you not to be around people.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
so.
it's funny because I say there was no breakouts. The staff of the New Orleans Saints were knocked out last week. And they scored one touchdown.
That's
They ain't
true.
scored a field goal. Good talks, guys. Deuce, man, you got something you wanna? Nah, man, you got one that was hot. Those little hot.
I got it.
Okay, all
Got
right, we'll
one?
put you last. All right, Kev, man, I'll let you go first, man.
Man, I just want everybody to stay safe out there. Like everyone's opinion matters because at the end of the day, you are on this planet for a reason. Your perspective matters. If you weren't here, we wouldn't be hearing what you had to say, and we wouldn't care. But you are here, and I am hearing what you got to say. So either I try to engage with you and understand where you're coming from, give you all the information you need, and have you make the decision on your own, which marketing has realized, by the way. We've shifted from a sales tactic type approach to provide the consumer with all the information and let the consumer make the decision. So if marketing and industry knows it, I don't see why the medical experts don't know it as well. You could bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So
You can make them eat Tide Pods.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or plank.
Kyrie and them boys, they're in a very unique situation because they have a contact type sport. Like we have the flexibility to maybe work from home or work remote and all these other different things. So I don't know. Good luck for those guys and whatever they do. It's their career.
Yeah.
If they want to F it up, let them F it up.
Yeah.
It's up to them. But everybody else, man, regardless if you're not Kyrie, you're not a superstar, you don't have to be in contact with someone. Just stay safe if you're not vaccinated, and if you are vaccinated, please still stay safe.
Yeah.
Like you're not
Please
Superman out here. You're not Superman out here. You don't
Breakthrough
have
is real.
Breakthrough is real. It's a fact. So, stay safe, man. That's all I gotta say.
Cool. Reg, man, what you got?
Echo that 100%. Everybody stay safe. We want y'all here to hear y'all different opinions. Earth is flat, maybe it's curved. I don't know.
Hey, Opinions based on something real. Please.
Hey, it's all relative. Keep
that.
that shit up.
So, okay, all right, and go ahead, Deuce. Go ahead with your factoid, man.
Well, first is to echo opinions matter. But some of y'all opinions is just straight boo boo.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna say it.
But they
Low quality opinions. Low quality opinions.
Hey,
Aye.
boo boo is fertilizer. Boo boo gave you your fruits, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
See, you should just
I'm gonna call it name for the episode of Silver Lining.
Silver Lining playbook.
Yo, boo boo gave you your fruits. Yo, if that tree didn't fall, we wouldn't have firewood. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
that's a fact.
That's true, man.
See,
Goddamn.
that's your
Let me stick to my fact, man. Y'all know black and yellow, black and yellow. Everybody know that song, right? Everybody know those colors. How about this? Pittsburgh is the only city where all the major sports teams, baseball, football, hockey, have the same team colors.
Oh,
Only city.
what about the
That's a
17?
nice come together type thing, huh? Was that by accident? Was that planned?
Major teams. Major teams.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that
Yeah,
one.
that was one of your better ones. So, thank you.
Hey, you know,
Oh, actually,
there
I think there is an MLS team, and they are black and yellow.
wow.
Oh,
There you go.
Man, no miss.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he misses.
Steph.
Oh, okay.
See, why did you have to bring back that Steph comment, man? Hey, close us out before you say something else stupid.
Hey man, yeah, cut your mic off again. Thanks everyone for joining. If you liked it, please subscribe. Tell us what you think, man. Give us your thoughts. Share your thoughts in the comments, or in the Discord. Just come join us. Tell us what you thought. You can just say all these opinions are done that we just put up here. But like I said, give us and share us what you think about that. Tell us what you think. Do you think Matthew Stafford is a top 5 quarterback? I mean, now that one you get kicked out. So if you come in saying that, don't. Save your breath.
guaranteed.
Save your breath. Guarantee. But yeah, other than that, man, like I said, we're here every Tuesday. So like I said, follow us, like us. We're gonna continue to drop every Tuesday and keep doing this. So with that said, man, I'll let everyone go, man. Until next time, deuce.
Peace.